Today I'm going to be laying tile on the walls in a bathroom. So I've already done most of my prep work. I'll kind of walk you through it here, then I'll show you some of the basics in getting started. So one of the most important things is prep work. You can see in some calculations I went through here, I went through and counted all my tiles, the square footage. I'm running really tight on my materials here. I didn't buy a whole lot extra, so I drew all of the walls. There's the side walls, there's above the tub, measured it out, got the square footage, and kind of scaled and drew my pattern there. Saw exactly how many square feet I need. So once you break all that out, you really want to lay it out on the wall. So I actually drew where the tiles are going to go. It's kind of a random, more contemporary pattern. You'll see as we get going. I'll need to get a little handheld saw to cut around these areas. Put a little bit of waterproofing on some of the seams here. And then I've got my lines all the way across. I counted every tile, laid it out exactly where I'm going to have my pattern change here. So 3 tiles on the bottom, 3 tiles on the top with this band that goes around. So I've got everything laid out. I've got my floors protected. Of course, I did my flooring first because I want my tile to rest on top of it. I've got my tiles laid out here, my thin set. These are all the tools I'll need. 2 different size trowels for the different types of tile I'm using. Square, level, actually I have several levels here. Tape measure, spacers, a little tool for cleaning. Always keep a bucket of water with a sponge handy. I've got my tub protected here. There's going to be a bunch of thin set falling. I am going to do this front wall first to go over the tile. I'll leave these last several pieces off and do the back wall before the side walls. The reason that I do that is you want to keep in mind how the finished product's going to look. When you walk into the bathroom, I want your eye to see the side walls die into the back wall. I don't want you to see that little seam there. You'll only see it, it's going to be a small little seam, but you only see it when you're standing in the shower. Alright, it's time to go ahead and lay some tile on the wall. I've got my 1/4 inch notch squared trowel. I'm going to use this to lay it on. Okay, so now that I've got everything nice and layer thin set on there, I've got my pattern drawn out here on the ground so I can see exactly what I'm doing. Pattern starts off with a 12 by 12 piece. So I'm going to back butter everything. I'll go ahead and put 1 or 2 pieces on, then I'll do the rest and fast forward. Okay, so I've skipped ahead here a little bit. I finished the bottom third of the bathroom. You can see I've wrapped all the way around, and I've got kind of this random pattern going along here. The next phase, I've got these little 12 by 12 sheets of tile. I went ahead and cut up a bunch of them into 3 by 3 strips. I'm going to use this to put a layer across a band right here. It's going to be 3 tiles thick, then another tile, then 3 tiles thick here. The one in the middle are going to be these planks that I've ripped, cut in half. Got a nice wood grain that's going to go really well with this. A lot of calculations going on here to figure out exactly what I'm going to end up with. So I've drawn out my pattern, exactly how it's going to sit on the wall. 3 there, 2 there, 3 there, 1 there. How they're going to be spaced apart. Exactly how many I need. I had to adjust the design just a little bit to get it just right. It's very important to count everything out. You can see here, this is a representation of the tile on this wall. Even though it is put on randomly, you don't want seams to overlap or touch or end in a way that you didn't want them to. So it's important to go through and lay it out first. I'm going to be walking you through tiling the bathroom now on this portion here. So I'm going to be putting a little band in. Okay, so we skipped some of the boring stuff watching me trowel all this on there. So now I've got a nice even thin layer of thin set. So I'm going to back butter my first tile and get it put on. Line this up just right. Now this is why I put these in loosely. Well, that wasn't cool. Okay, so I've got my tiles back buttered and I'm ready to continue. Went ahead and set some spacers in. So I'm going to put this one up. So that's it. That is tiling. Got this area done here. And I'm going to repeat the pattern that's below up to the top. But you can see, looks pretty good. Once I throw some grout on there, it's going to look a lot nicer. But that's the gist of it. Alright, so here's the finished product. Represents 3 days of work. Got tile on the floor here. And it's still drying on the top level, so I've got spacers. I've removed them down below. You can see that we were careful to cut out around all of our fittings here, and we've wrapped all the walls in tile. Had to do some of it in the dark so we could get that light fixture cut in just right. This is where we're going to do the floating mirror that's backlit. You can see that our pattern travels all the way around. We showed you earlier how to do that. So that's it. It's a tiny little bathroom, but it is now wrapped every inch except for the ceiling in tile. So there's that.